Hello from Freedomtax Accounting. We are an accounting firm here in Florida where we have been providing quality tax and accounting services now for over 20 years. If you are new to this channel, in this YouTube channel, we do provide tax and accounting tips to small business owners. And for the last couple of weeks, we have been covering everything relating with the EIDL and PPP loan programs. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you always get the latest information regarding these federal loans and the best tax and accounting tips for your small business. Now today we're going to cover one of the most common questions we get here in our office. Is business owners want to know if they can use PPP and EIDL at the same time. Okay, so we're going to cover that in this video. Remember and note that today is August 20th, and we always emphasize the date of the recording of these videos because if you have been following the PPP saga, you know that these programs have been constantly changing, and there are some proposed bills in Congress that if they become law, those will change dramatically some of the information that we discussed in this video. So there are some things in this video that may change in the future due to the constant change these programs are going through. So that's the importance of subscribing to our channel, so that way you are on top of the most current and correct information regarding these loans. Now remember, this video is intended for educational purposes and should not be taken as legal or tax advice. You should consult with your financial professional about your unique financial situation before acting on anything discussed in this video. Freedomtax Accounting or its members cannot be held liable for any use or misuse of this content. Now remember that the SBA has two very popular programs. Both programs are from the SBA, but they both have a lot of differences, okay? First, you have the PPP program, which is the Paycheck Protection Program. And you have the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Both of them are from the SBA, but they do have a lot of differences, okay? Now, can you use the PPP and the EIDL and get them at the same time? The answer is yes. If your business is eligible and they meet the requirements to get PPP and EIDL, you can get both loans, okay? Now, you can use the funds at the same time as long as you don't use them for the same expenses during the same time period, okay? And we will go into that a little bit further in this video. But remember that the PPP and the EIDL have different rules on how you can use the funds. Now, we will not go into detail on those rules on PPP and EIDL and how to use the funds. If you don't know yet, we have done some videos in the past in our YouTube channel. Search for how to use EIDL funds or how to use PPP funds, because we have done those videos in the past, okay? But as an overview, this is the PPP and this is the EIDL, okay? Remember that the PPP loan, in order for it to be forgiven, because that's the attractive part of the PPP program, is that if you use it correctly, you could get the loan 100% forgiven and you don't have to pay it back. Now remember that you have to use PPP funds for payroll costs, mortgage interest, if you had the mortgage before February 15th of 2020. You can use it for business rent if you had the lease agreement before February 15th of 2020, and you can use it for business utilities if you had those services before February 15th of 2020. Now remember, payroll costs, there's a lot of things that can be included in payroll costs, and mortgage interest, rent, and utilities are if they are under the business name. Okay, so for most of you self-employed, this does not apply. Remember, if you got PPP as self-employed, you can use 100% of the loan as owner compensation, and it'll be 100% forgiven, okay? Now, for the EIDL, you can use them for the same things. You can use for payroll cost, mortgage interest, rent, and utilities, but don't use them at the same time for the same expenses. So if you're small business owners and you have both, what you have to do is that you have to use PPP first for these expenses. Once you use all the PPP funds for these expenses, then you can start using the EIDL for those same expenses. But in the same time, you cannot use PPP for payroll and EIDL for payroll at the same time, okay? I hope you get the idea. Now, even if you're using PPP now and you haven't used it all yet, you can still use the EIDL for accounts payable and other eligible operational expenses at the same time as PPP. Now, once again, if you don't know what are the other eligible operational expenses that your business can use the EIDL for, look up our YouTube video called How to Use EIDL Funds. You can find it there. So once again, you can have both, but you cannot use them for the same expenses at the same time, okay? Now, bookkeeping is going to be very important if you got either of these loans. Why? Let's take PPP. PPP will require you to track payroll, rent, utilities, and business interest expenses in order to apply for forgiveness. You're going to have good bookkeeping in order to send all those financial statements to the bank that gave you PPP in order to get the loan forgiven. And with the EIDL, remember that you may need to complete financial statements for the past 5 years and every year going forward. Now, we emphasize may because we still don't know if the SBA is going to enforce this rule. What rule am I talking about? If we take a look at your EIDL contract, this is the contract that you signed in order to get EIDL funds. There is a section on the contract called Books and Records. In this contract, which you signed, it says that you will maintain current and proper books of account in a manner satisfactory to SBA for the most recent 5 years, okay? And over here it says that they will require no later than 3 months following the expiration of your fiscal year. So for most of you, your fiscal year is going to end December 31st. So what this is saying is that no later than by the end of March of every year, you're going to have to show the SBA your financial statements, and those financial statements have to be done as an accountant's review prepared by an independent public accountant. So once again, that's what the contract says. We have tried to call the SBA many times to see if they are actually going to enforce this. We have received mixed answers. Some SBA agents have told us yes, some SBA agents have told us no, some agents have told us they don't know. But if they implement it or not, we have to see, but it's better to be prepared just in case the SBA at some point does require you to give them the financials. Now, also, not only for the SBA and the IRS, staying on top of your bookkeeping will help you stay on top of what you're using the funds for. So that way you know how much you can use from the PPP, where to use the EIDL. You have your record keeping up to date, and you keep track on what you're using the funds for. And it would also give you, as a business owner, peace of mind knowing that your bookkeeping is up to date in case the IRS or the SBA audits your financials, or in case the SBA does decide to enforce what's said in the contract and you have to show them financials every year. This way it's up to date and you don't have to worry about it. So if you don't have a bookkeeping solution in place, we can help. We do offer a monthly bookkeeping service. We can also do it retroactively if you haven't done the bookkeeping for the past couple of months. Okay, our bookkeeping service starts at $125 a month. For more information, you can call our number, which is right here, or you can email us at info@freedomtaxfl.com. Well, thank you. We hope this information has been of value to you as a small business owner. Please like this video if for other small business owners get the benefit of this information. Also remember to subscribe to our channel. This is our contact information once again. If you have any tax and accounting need, even though we are in Florida, we are authorized by the federal government to provide our services to individuals and businesses in any of the U.S. States. Okay? Well, once again, thank you very much for listening to this video. Like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. God bless you. Have a great day.